Millionaire walked in unexpectedly. The maid's secret with his son left him frozen. A millionaire walked into his mansion and froze. His maid was bathing his baby son in the kitchen sink. Without permission. "How dare you touch my child?" he shouted. But what she revealed next, it shook him to his core. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss a story that touches your heart. Jonathan Blake was a man who valued time, money, and order. He never came home early, but on this unusual Tuesday, he forgot an important document for a meeting and rushed back to his mansion. The house was quiet, just the way he liked it. But as he entered through the side door, he heard something strange, water running, then a soft giggle. It wasn't the usual silence he was used to. He followed the sound to the kitchen. What he saw made him stop in his tracks. Maria, the maid he barely noticed, was gently bathing his baby son, Liam, in the kitchen sink. The baby laughed as she washed him carefully, whispering lullabies and smiling with love. Jonathan's jaw tightened. His heart raced. What are you doing?" he shouted. "How dare you touch my son without my permission?" Maria's hands froze. She slowly looked up, terrified. Jonathan rushed over, grabbing a towel and lifting Liam out of the water. "You're just a maid. What gives you the right?" But Maria didn't answer. She simply whispered, "Please, let me explain." Jonathan demanded answers, shouting again, "You are a maid, not his mother. This is unacceptable." Maria didn't fight back. Instead, she reached into her apron and pulled out a small envelope. With shaking hands, she said, "Please, just read this." Jonathan snatched it and opened it quickly. Inside was a photograph, one he didn't remember taking. It was from years ago. He was standing next to Maria outside a hospital, smiling. He looked younger, and she looked familiar. He frowned. "This must be fake. I don't remember this day." Maria took a shaky breath. "You wouldn't remember. That night, you had just broken up with your fiancé. You visited that charity clinic for a donation event. You and I talked. We shared a moment. And then, I found out I was pregnant." Jonathan's world spun. "You're saying Liam is my son?" "Yes," Maria whispered. "I didn't come here to trick you. I just wanted him to grow up safely. I never asked for money. I just wanted him to know his father even from afar." Tears welled in her eyes. "You may not remember me, but he is yours." Jonathan stood in silence, heart pounding. The boy he had held, fed, and watched might actually be his blood. Jonathan couldn't believe what Maria had said. He was a man of logic, numbers, and contracts. He never trusted emotions. "Anyone can say something," he muttered. "But facts don't lie." So, he arranged for a DNA test immediately. During the waiting days, the mansion felt quiet to quiet. He avoided Maria, but he secretly watched Liam. He saw how Liam tilted his head when curious, just like he did. How he tapped his fingers when excited, just like Jonathan had as a child. At night, Jonathan sat in his study, comparing old photo albums. One picture of himself at age 1 stopped him cold. It was like looking at Liam or still. His mind needed proof. His heart was unsure. 3 days later, the envelope came. 99.99% paternal match. Jonathan dropped the letter. His chest tightened. All his pride, anger, and fear faded into one emotion: regret. He had a son, a real son, and he had missed the first precious months of his life. But now he had a choice. Would he let his past mistakes control him, or would he be the father his son deserved? Jonathan paced in his office for hours. The DNA test confirmed what he couldn't deny: Maria was telling the truth. Liam was his son, and Maria, she had never asked for anything. No demands, no money, no revenge, just love for the child. He called her into his study. She walked in with her head low, expecting the worst. Her hands trembled. But Jonathan didn't yell. He didn't scold. He walked toward her, paused, and said, "I'm sorry." Maria looked up, confused. "What? I doubted you. I disrespected you. And I almost lost my son because of my pride." Tears filled Maria's eyes as he continued. "You didn't just care for Liam, you protected him. You loved him like a real mother, and you did it alone." He looked at her gently. "I don't want you working here as a maid anymore. I want you to be recognized as Liam's mother." Not in the shadows, but in the light. Maria gasped, "You mean, yes. Let's raise him together. You're not a maid in this house anymore. You're family." Weeks passed, and the mansion slowly changed. There was laughter now. Maria no longer wore a maid's uniform. She dressed freely, walked with confidence, and smiled without fear. Jonathan started waking up early not for meetings, but to see Liam's smile. He read him bedtime stories, fed him bottles, and even changed diapers. He was learning to be a father. Maria cooked meals they shared at the table like a real family. And in the evenings, they sat on the porch, watching the sun go down while Liam played between them. One afternoon, Jonathan surprised Maria with something special, a framed photo of the three of them smiling, placed on the living room wall. He looked at her and said, "I used to think love made a man weak, but now I know it's what makes him whole." Maria smiled, her eyes filled with peace. "I didn't come here to change your life, Jonathan, but maybe your Liam did." And they both looked at the boy who brought them together, proof that sometimes family isn't chosen, it finds you. Jonathan thought love had no place in his life, but one woman's courage and one child's laughter taught him what truly matters. Not wealth, not control, but family. What would you do if you were Jonathan? Tell us in the comments if this story touched your heart. Give it a like, share this with someone who believes in second chances, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories that change lives.